It was a day like any other on Earth. The sun shone brightly, casting a warm glow over the cities and towns. People went about their lives, unaware of the storm that was about to hit their world. Children played in the streets, people worked at their desks, and the hum of everyday life filled the air. But high above in the stars, something far more dangerous was taking shape. In the dark reaches of the galaxy, the Galactic Empire had long been known for its power, its ruthlessness, and its absolute control. For centuries, they had conquered worlds, crushed rebellions, and wiped out any resistance to their rule. They had never faced a challenge they couldn't destroy, and they had never failed to defeat an enemy. That was, until now. Reports had reached the Empire that Earth, this small, seemingly insignificant planet, was beginning to show signs of defiance. The humans, with their unpredictable behavior and wild ambitions, were starting to disrupt the Empire's plans. Whispers of resistance movements and small pockets of fighters who dared to challenge their authority were spreading like wildfire. The Empire couldn't allow such defiance to exist. A small rebellion on a backwater planet was one thing, but this was different. The potential of the humans was something the Empire could not ignore. In response, the Empire called upon their deadliest weapon, the assassins. Known throughout the galaxy as the finest warriors, these assassins were elite, trained in every form of combat, skilled in infiltration, and equipped with technology far beyond anything humanity had ever seen. They could kill in silence, strike with deadly precision, and erase any trace of their presence. The assassins were dispatched not only to quell any rebellion, but to deliver a clear message to Earth: resist us, and we will destroy you. As the assassins made their way through the vastness of space, Earth remained blissfully unaware of the threat looming overhead. The planet's defenses were primitive compared to the technological might of the Empire. Satellites, radar systems, and advanced monitoring equipment had failed to detect the approach of the assassins. The humans, with their eyes focused on their daily routines, had no idea that the fate of their world was hanging by a thread. The assassins arrived, undetected, just as quietly as they always did. Their ships, sleek and black, cut through the atmosphere like shadows. They landed in hidden locations across the globe, their movements swift and calculated. They spread out, infiltrating major cities, military bases, and important sites where they believed resistance could arise. The Earth's military forces, unprepared and unaware of the impending attack, had no chance of stopping them. But there was one thing the assassins didn't know: they had underestimated humanity. Amidst the bustling streets and busy offices, one man stood apart from the crowd, unnoticed, unremarkable, and hidden in plain sight. This was not a man of fame or fortune. He had no political power, no great army, and no resources to speak of. He was simply a man who had spent his life in the shadows, learning skills that no one else knew. A ninja. The world had no idea of his existence. He had chosen to live a life of solitude, away from the attention of the world, preferring the quiet of the shadows to the chaos of modern life. He was a relic from a time long past, a master of an ancient art that had been nearly forgotten by the rest of humanity. His skills were unparalleled, his speed unmatched, and his mind sharp as a blade. He had trained for years in the ways of the ninja, learning to become a master of stealth, agility, and precision. When the assassins arrived, the ninja sensed something was wrong. He could feel the disturbance in the air, the subtle shifts in the world around him. He had spent his entire life honing his senses, training his body and mind to detect even the slightest change in his surroundings. And now he could feel it, the presence of something dark and dangerous. The Galactic Empire's assassins had come, and they were looking for a fight. As the first wave of assassins moved into position, the ninja watched from a distance, hidden from sight. He knew that they would not stop until they had eliminated every threat. But there was something they didn't understand about Earth, and about humans. We might be small, we might be weak in their eyes, but we were never to be underestimated. And he, the ninja, would be the one to show them just how dangerous humanity could be. The calm of the world was shattered, but no one knew it yet. The storm was coming, and soon it would break. This was just the beginning. The assassins moved swiftly and silently across the earth, unaware that their presence was being watched. They believed themselves to be the superior force, confident in their mission and their lethal abilities. As they infiltrated major cities and military strongholds, they left a trail of fear in their wake. Earth's defenses crumbled beneath their efficiency. Yet, even in the midst of this chaos, one lone figure remained undisturbed: the ninja. While the world trembled under the Empire's threat, the ninja stayed hidden in the shadows, watching, calculating, and preparing. He had no personal connection to the planet's struggles, but he knew that humanity, despite its flaws, held something unique, something the assassins could not anticipate: the will to survive. It was this very spirit that had driven him to train for years, perfecting his art, becoming a master of stealth and combat. And it was this same spirit that would soon face the deadliest warriors the galaxy had ever known. The ninja's training had not been for glory or recognition. It had been for moments like this, the calm before the storm, when the world was unaware of the danger that lurked just beyond its horizon. He had long ago learned to trust his instincts, to listen to the quiet whispers of the world around him. And right now, those whispers told him it was time to act. He moved quickly through the alleys and rooftops of a quiet city, blending into the environment, as if he were nothing more than a shadow. His dark clothes clung to him like a second skin, allowing him to disappear into the night. No one saw him. No one heard him. To the untrained eye, he was invisible, just another passerby, part of the backdrop of everyday life. But beneath that quiet exterior was a mind as sharp as a blade, and muscles honed for a single purpose: to fight when it mattered most. The ninja's heart beat steadily as he approached the heart of the city. He had no illusions about what lay ahead. The assassins were formidable. They had trained for years in the most brutal conditions, mastering deadly techniques and sophisticated weapons. Their mission was clear: eliminate the humans who dared to defy the Galactic Empire's will. But they did not know what lay in the depths of the human spirit. They did not know the lengths a single individual would go to protect the ones they loved and the world they called home. He had been waiting for this moment for years. The assassin's presence had not gone unnoticed. From the shadows, he had observed their every move, learning their patterns, studying their weaknesses. He understood their technology, their tactics, and most importantly, their arrogance. It was this arrogance that would be their downfall. The assassins believed they were untouchable, that no one could stand against them. But they had underestimated the ninja. The ninja had been trained in the art of war not just to fight, but to think. He knew that defeating these assassins would require more than just strength or skill. It would require cunning, strategy, and an understanding of the terrain. Things the assassins would never expect from someone who appeared to be nothing more than a ghost in the night. As he reached the heart of the city, the first assassin appeared. Cloaked in black armor, the figure moved silently through the streets, his glowing eyes scanning for any sign of trouble. He was a killing machine, built to take out any threat with brutal efficiency, but he was not prepared for what happened next. The ninja struck like a bolt of lightning, faster than the assassin could react. With a swift motion, he disarmed the enemy, sending the assassin's weapon flying across the street. Before the assassin could regain his bearings, the ninja was already behind him, his silent footsteps barely audible. A swift chop to the back of the assassin's neck left him unconscious, his body crumpling to the ground without a sound. The ninja paused for a moment, his breath steady, his mind clear. He had struck with precision, just as he had trained to do. But this was just the beginning. The other assassins were close behind, and they would not be as easy to defeat. As the first assassin lay incapacitated, the ninja moved on, ready to face the next challenge. He had no time to celebrate his victory. He knew that the rest of the assassins would soon realize they were not dealing with an ordinary human. And when they did, they would come at him with everything they had. But the ninja was not afraid. He had spent his entire life preparing for this moment. Earth might be facing its darkest hour, but he was ready to face the threat head-on. With each step, he moved closer to his goal, to the moment when humanity's hidden strength would be revealed in the most unexpected way. The world might not have known it yet, but they had a hero among them, a hero unlike any they had ever imagined. And with each passing moment, he proved that the strength of humanity could not be easily broken. As the ninja's first strike landed successfully, the air seemed to hold its breath. The assassin, unconscious on the ground, was just the beginning. The world, unbeknownst to its inhabitants, was about to witness an unbelievable showdown, one that no one could have predicted. As the first assassin fell, the remaining ones began to sense that something was amiss. The silence of the city's streets felt almost unnatural. The ninja, invisible in the shadows, was moving like a phantom, quick, silent, and precise. He had already planned his attack, and the assassins would not know what hit them. The next assassin came into view. This one was different, larger, stronger, and equipped with more advanced weaponry. He was one of the Empire's top operatives, a terror across many worlds, feared for his ruthlessness. His armor shimmered under the dim city lights, reflecting the calm before the storm. But the ninja was already several steps ahead. As the assassin advanced, his sharp eyes scanning the surroundings, he never saw the ninja silently drop down from the rooftop above. With a swift, calculated move, the ninja disarmed the second assassin. A knife whizzed through the air, slicing cleanly through the assassin's weapon before he could react. Before the assassin even realized what had happened, the ninja was on him, his movements too fast to follow. The assassin tried to strike back, swinging a blade in a desperate attempt to land a blow, but the ninja was already behind him. Using his own momentum, the ninja pushed him forward into a wall with a powerful kick to the chest, knocking the wind out of him. This fight was becoming something the assassins weren't used to, a battle of wits, not just strength. While the assassins were strong, well-trained, and technologically advanced, they lacked the one thing the ninja had in abundance: strategy. Every move the assassins made seemed predictable, as though they were following a script they had rehearsed countless times. But the ninja wasn't just a fighter, he was a tactician. He anticipated their every move before they even made it, using the environment to his advantage, blending in with the shadows, and striking when they least expected it. The ninja didn't just rely on brute strength. He used everything at his disposal, throwing blades, smoke bombs, and traps that only someone with years of training could set up so effectively. The assassins were growing frustrated, confused by the sudden and unexpected resistance. They had faced countless worlds and opponents, but nothing like this. It was as if the earth had produced its own ghost, a shadow moving through their ranks, one they couldn't catch and could barely comprehend. One by one, the ninja continued to pick them off. Each assassin fell harder and faster than the last, their technology unable to match the sheer unpredictability of the ninja's tactics. The final blow for each of them was not delivered in a way they had anticipated. The ninja was too fast, too elusive, and far too intelligent. It was a lesson they would never forget. That arrogance, no matter how strong it may seem, always leads to a fall. With each victory, the ninja's confidence grew. He was a force of nature, unseen and unstoppable. But the assassins, though caught off guard, weren't going to give up without a fight. The remaining assassins began to regroup, and for the first time, they realized that they were facing more than just a mere human. This was something far more dangerous, a man who understood his enemy and knew how to turn their strength into weakness. The ninja's breathing steadied, and his mind was focused, despite the chaos around him. He knew this battle was far from over. The remaining assassins, now aware of the ninja's abilities, were adapting to the fight. They began to communicate in hushed tones, their tactics shifting as they recognized the challenge they now faced. No longer were they simply following the mission. They were strategizing, learning from their mistakes. But it was too late for them to reverse the tide. The ninja had already set the stage for the final clash. He used their own strategy against them. With one well-placed smoke bomb, he disappeared into the shadows, leaving the assassins to search frantically for him. In this moment of confusion, the ninja struck, blindingly fast, striking from the darkness, taking down 2 more assassins before they could even react. His body moved with an almost unnatural precision, honed over years of training. The battle was reaching its peak, and the assassins' confidence was crumbling. They had underestimated Earth's unexpected hero, but now, as their numbers thinned and their confidence faltered, they began to realize the true power of humanity. The human spirit, once underestimated, was proving to be far more dangerous than they had ever imagined. But even with the odds shifting in his favor, the ninja knew that the final confrontation against the leader of the assassins was still to come. And this would be the true test of his skills. The final showdown had arrived. The air was thick with tension as the remaining assassin, the leader of the Galactic Empire's elite group, prepared to face the ninja. This assassin was different from the others. He wasn't just another trained warrior. He was the leader, the one who had been through countless battles, who had conquered planets and wiped out entire resistance groups with ruthless efficiency. His reputation was legendary, and his skill was unmatched. As the ninja stood silently in the shadows, waiting for his moment, he knew that this fight would not be like the others. The leader of the assassins was a force to be reckoned with, someone who would not fall easily. The ninja had already faced the Empire's best, but this was the final test, the one that would prove whether humanity's spirit could truly overcome the might of the Galactic Empire. The assassin leader moved forward with a calm, calculated gait. His armor gleamed in the dim light, and his eyes burned with the cold determination of a warrior who had never been defeated. He knew that this human ninja, despite his skill, would eventually fall. The Empire had conquered entire galaxies, and no one, no matter how skilled, could defeat them. But as he walked into the city's ruined streets, he felt a strange unease. He couldn't shake the feeling that this battle would be different. The ninja's heart beat steadily as he faced the assassin leader. This fight would require everything he had, every ounce of his training, his focus, and his will. He wasn't just fighting for his survival. He was fighting for the survival of Earth, for the survival of humanity's very spirit. And that, he knew, made him stronger than any assassin. Without warning, the assassin lunged forward, his movements a blur of deadly precision. The ninja was ready. He dodged effortlessly, moving with the fluidity of water, just narrowly avoiding the assassin's blade as it sliced through the air. The 2 warriors clashed in the center of the street, their strikes echoing like thunder in the quiet night. Each movement was a perfect combination of speed, strength, and skill, as if they were 2 forces of nature locked in an eternal struggle. The ninja could feel the weight of the fight pressing down on him. The assassin leader was relentless, each strike calculated to land a blow. But the ninja was faster, his movements too quick to be caught. With each dodge, each block, he wore down the assassin, not with brute strength, but with strategy. The leader's arrogance was beginning to show. He was so confident in his power that he underestimated the ninja's ability to stay one step ahead. As the fight raged on, the ninja saw an opening, a small, almost imperceptible moment when the assassin's guard dropped just slightly. In that instant, he struck. With a swift and precise motion, the ninja disarmed the leader, sending his blade skittering across the ground. The leader, stunned, looked up in shock, disbelief flashing in his eyes. He had never encountered an opponent like this before. But the ninja wasn't finished yet. He knew this was his moment to end the battle. With a final, powerful move, he incapacitated the assassin leader, knocking him to the ground with a force that left him gasping for air. The assassin leader lay on the cold ground, defeated, his eyes wide in shock, unable to comprehend how a single human had done what entire armies could not. The battle was over. The assassins had been defeated, and the Galactic Empire's mission had failed. But for the ninja, the victory was bittersweet. He didn't celebrate. There was no joy in his eyes, no sense of triumph. He had done what was necessary to protect the world, but it had come at a cost. The destruction caused by the battle, the lives lost, and the city that had been torn apart all weighed heavily on his heart. As the dust settled and the moon rose high in the sky, the ninja stood over the fallen leader. He looked out over the broken streets, his heart heavy with the realization that this victory was not the end of humanity's struggle. It was just the beginning. The leader of the assassins, now incapacitated, looked up at the ninja with a mixture of fear and respect. He had underestimated humanity, thinking it was weak, predictable, and easily crushed. But now he saw the truth. The ninja, the lone human, had defeated the Empire's finest, and that, above all, was the greatest victory of all. The ninja stood still for a moment, reflecting on the battle. His body ached, his wounds stung, but he knew there was one thing that the Empire would never understand. It wasn't the technology, the weapons, or the advanced training that made humanity powerful. It was the strength of the human spirit, the will to fight for what is right, even when the odds were stacked against them. As the first light of dawn began to break over the horizon, the ninja turned away from the fallen leader. His task was complete, but the fight for humanity's future had just begun. He disappeared into the shadows once again, as silently as he had come, knowing that the world was safe, for now, and the legacy of his actions would be carried on by every person who ever dared to stand up against tyranny, who ever believed in the strength of the human heart. The battle was won, the Empire was defeated, and the ninja had shown the galaxy the true power of humanity.